Hi Kiwi, I totally forgot we left the game with the Unseen Ones playing, or the Unseen One, I believe that's what it's called, but the theme of Hades in Phase 3. So forgive me for things absolutely shredding right now. Anyway, we're going to be running the Spear of Guan Yu with the Pierced Butterfly Keepsake, so if we don't take damage, we get a permanent increased damage as long as we keep that Keepsake. We're going to take 2 levels of Extreme Measures, 1 level of Middle Management, 1 level of Tight Deadline, and...
What's life without a little pain?
Well, we're running the aspect of Guan Yu. We're going to definitely be feeling some pain. Starting with Demeter, okay.
I warn you, Zagreus, best not to make attempts to grow much closer with me thus. I'm much your elder, after all, and you're my little sprout. What say we keep it that way,
I think she's still hurting from the loss of her daughter. That's a pretty darn good special. I think I'll take that. Yeah, 109% increased damage. That's gonna make things. That's gonna make our special chunk. Nectar is really not a bad option here, but Chaos potentially can offer us more, especially if we get a special or a cast boon.
I faintly sensed that you were able to confront your father while in possession of my small round catalyst. It seems my asking you, and your success, was in accordance with the Fate's design as well. The result is more amusing even than expected. Thus, thank you.
Glad he appreciates our efforts, I suppose. Let's see. Unfortunately, he doesn't offer us anything that would make me feel supported. I could take the cast, but I want to cut the... I'm going to reroll, see if we can get a special boost.
How about a different set of choices then?
Dash Strike HP, I guess. You know what? 30 HP is not bad, but 5 chambers of hidden previews is really bad. So I think I'm just going to take the increased damage from traps and just take 75% more gems and darkness. We'll take the darkness here because it at least gives us a little bit of HP. In case you don't remember, Kiwi, the aspect of Guan Yu's biggest potential consequence of its power is we start with significantly reduced max HP. But it has a very strong base damage, and we're just going to see it get stronger and stronger using the Pierced Butterfly. But again, the big caveat is I don't want to get hit. Granted, I am running a weapon where I really don't want to get hit anyway, so we might be able to make it work. And worst case scenario is we're going to stack up a whole bunch of levels in Tartarus because that epic special that Demeter gave, 1 to 2 shots every enemy that I can run into aside from the final boss of the floor. So all we're really needing at this point is a really good hammer. And there are some very good hammers for the special on the spear, particularly if you're running Guan Yu. There's one that makes you charge up your special. Ooh, wow.
Sharpen my senses.
That's a lot of increased damage from 1 palm. That's pretty solid. Okay. Anyway, there is a hammer you can get on Guan Yu that makes you be able to charge your special, kind of like if you were running the bow. And that makes its damage potential go up substantially. But this is probably the safest, the kind of gimmicky, but also the safest way to play Guan Yu, because its special just has a really high base damage, even without a good special boon, and its AoE is pretty up there. Like, I'm not necessarily aiming this super close to the enemies, and it's still hitting them. I do have to be careful. If anything's going to hit me, it's going to be these laser casters or the witches.
The goddess Demeter. Olympus, I accept this message.
Alright. Rare... Ooh, Kiwi. Rare crop. We have no other boons, so rare crop is guaranteed to affect Frost Flourish. It'll mean some net loss damage for a while, but it will give it more damage in the long run. We'll take it. Gladly. Okay. So lose a little bit damage in the short term for maximum damage gain in the later game. Poseidon versus a shop here. I think I take the Poseidon boon. We'll have to fight a mini boss. It's very likely I'll take a hit here, but I'm okay with this.
That again, huh?
This is a relatively safe build, so as long as I stay dashing and out of their range, I should be able to pretty reliably not get hit. They do have homing shots, so I do have to be careful of that. But the sooner I kill one, the sooner I am less likely to take an unintentional hit. Trying to focus down one before I switch targets to the other if I can. But, okay, we got 1, we got 2, we got 3. Ooh, I dashed into that, but somehow didn't get hit. I guess I timed it perfectly so that it looked like that was super sketchy, but it actually wasn't.
I salute you, Uncle Poseidon. Your strength and confidence inspire me, and you accepted me as part of the family without question. It means a lot.
Oh, nephew, but you needn't shower me with offerings and praise, you know. I have no need of showering at all. Not when I've the sea itself to do with as I please.
I bet he smells like salt. Or fish.
I dare say, little Hades, you've some spunk in you. Why, I think you take after me more than my crusty elder brother. We'll get away from that old Carter yet.
Nothing like calling Zeus crusty. I'm sure he'll appreciate that. I think I will take Poseidon's aid here because it's a good defensive tool. This cast doesn't really impress. Okay, here's our hammer. Here's our chance to get a really good special boon or something completely irrelevant to the build, which will make me sad, but would not necessarily surprise me. I tossed my cast into this guy because look at that. It made our damage go up from 88 to 122, or 112 rather, which is a nice sizable damage increase. I think if I'm going to take damage here, it's going to be from one of these witches clipping me with a spell, so I'm going to try and take them out first. Thankfully, my special does destroy their projectiles, which is quite good for me. Alright, here we go.
Time to mix up my style.
Charging your spin attack. Okay, so we got only attack options, which is rather disappointing. I think Winged Serpent is objectively the best option here. Your Frostfare Blade spin attack travels for 80% longer. So we're not really building it around the attack, but at least it will travel a much greater distance, I guess. Sisyphus or a Palm? The Palm would offer us a lot more damage in the long run, but Sisyphus, we haven't talked to in a while, and I wouldn't mind seeing what more dialogue we have to gain from him. I guess it's only coin, though. I want that Palm. This is a weapon where I probably should play to win rather than play to progress, you know? So we'll play a little safe here. We'll take, I don't know if it's actually safer because we have to fight to get the Palm, but these guys can't touch us, so yeah, I'd say it's safer. We've already stacked up a fair bit of extra damage on the Pierced Butterfly, which is quite nice. Let's see what we're up to. So another 17% on the special, and that's not accounting for when it upgrades to a higher rarity. But let's see, we are already at 18% more damage on the Pierced Butterfly. We'll keep going with the darkness here because every darkness gives me 5 HP because of the passive we got from the Underworld Custom, or the not the Underworld Customs, the House Contractor, the buff we got from that way back when. Alright, I don't like the position I'm in right there, so I'm going to bail out to the left, just so that I have a little bit more space to potentially dodge anything unintended. Well, intended for my direction, but not intended to be hit by. Alright. Cool. Ooh, a Demeter and Poseidon Trial. I'm very likely going to take damage there.
Sure, why not?
But I think it's worth it.
You shall pay for that.
We can stack up a couple more boons, potentially have a huge benefit from it in the long run. We have some very solid damage on this, I have to say. 145 without any damage modifiers?
Ah, that's enough.
That's pretty solid.
Now to collect.
And the distance we can use to cast it is pretty up there in terms of safety. I will say this run is running a little slow, so I do have to be mindful of the timer. Who do I want to take first? Demeter or Poseidon? I think I will have an easier time dodging Demeter. So we'll take Poseidon first. Ooh. Ooh. Wait, hold on. This does sound really good, but then I consider the fact that will this still be affected by rare crop? And the answer is probably not. So let's take the 20% damage to increase to bosses. That'll make our call do more damage, which is fine by me for now.
Might of the sea.
My blessings seldom given, and ought not be so readily refused, young Zagreus.
I think I'm okay. Let's get this gold pot, and then I just have to pay attention to where her thing starts spawning in, which they telegraph it pretty clearly. There's just a big circle on the ground, so I shouldn't really have a high risk of being clipped by this, but I don't trust myself to not notice it. She's spawning her little friends everywhere, which is also a little sketchy. If she spawns her whirlwind in the center of the map, it will be a little bit hard to position around, but I think we're good. There we go. Easy.
quite capable of making your life plenty difficult. You do now realize, young Zagreus.
I never didn't realize that. All right, what have you got? Attack, cast, frozen touch. None of these are really what I want. I could make an argument for crystal beam. I don't really want crystal beam, but we are going a super ranged build, so it's not terrible. And if we got Artemis and got some of her duos, that would be pretty good. Just getting the upgraded crystal beam, I guess. I don't know, Kiwi. This one's a tough choice. I don't think I waste a reroll here, though. Unless, what is Demeter's legendary? I don't think I've ever gotten it. Let's see. Chill afflicted foes shatter at 10% HP, inflicting chilling. So, I think that means they just immediately die if they're at 10% or less. That sounds pretty crazy, actually. Maybe I could go a duo with the cast from Poseidon potentially, and that would be interesting. I don't know. I think I'm gonna take Crystal Beam for now. All right, Crystal Beam it is.
That's cold.
All right, End Shop or HP? I think we go for the End Shop. We'll buy whatever God Boon we find here if it fits our build idea. Aphrodite does not really do that. Her attack is decent, but does she stand to offer us anything major duo-wise there? I don't think she does. Let's see. Duo with Poseidon, Palms of Power are more potent. Duo with Demeter is your cast... Ugh, I don't want that again. Yeah, so I don't think I want Aphrodite, but I will take the HP here.
I'll take this one.
It's only 11 HP, but we need every bit of survival we can take on the aspect of Guan Yu, so that's fine by me.
Ready, sisters. Prince Zagreus, you are trespassing beyond the limits of your authority. I am under orders to stop you.
Come on, mate. Why so formal all of a sudden? We've been through this countless times. Wait, is it because...
Oh, come on, Zag. Will you just learn to play along for once? Come on and fight me like you mean it.
He's just having fun with us.
Come, sisters.
Oh, you know what? I forgot. Now I don't get the damage up from having her tagged with the crystal, with the cast, but at least we have a little bit more range damage. And if I keep her constantly slowed with the special, it's pretty easy to kite her through the crystal beams, I suppose. Whoa, I got clipped. I realized I was a little too late dodging that before, or I realized I was not going to dodge that a little too late. Okay, this is fine. This is fine, though. Just play it safe. Remember, I have Poseidon's Call if I really need to, always have Poseidon's Call if I need to really get out of dodge. Like, for example, here's a good chance to use it. I'm going to mash it. Oh, wait, she went invulnerable. Darn. Alright, we're taking a lot of damage here, which isn't ideal.
Be ready.
We're also still lacking some fundamental damage. I will say this is a relatively slow run, all things considered, but all we need is maybe another chance to trade boons once this gets upgraded to at least Epic tier, if not Heroic tier. And Heroic tier alone will be a fair bit of damage. Alright, it's upgraded to Epic tier now. And we still stand a reasonable chance to get palm levels on it because we don't have many other boons to interfere with that just yet.
Megara seems to be having difficulties.
Okay.
Okay, so I think
Keepsakes hold power.
I have two options here. I could go for the Athena keepsake and go for her dash, just for the extra layer of safety it provides. Or I go for Artemis and go for the potential damage of her duo and pressure points for crit chance. I think we're still okay right now, so I'm going to take Artemis's keepsake here. I can always take Athena in the next floor if I really feel like I need it. Yeah, we'll do that.
Might help.
Nothing here terribly excites me, so we'll leave it at that. And anything to sell? I could sell Crystal Beam since I'm not... Nah, I think I'll keep this.
That's enough Tartarus.
We don't have many boons to spare right now. And I think... I'm not going to be playing around trying to earn gold if I don't have to, I think.
Now we're getting somewhere.
I hear a fish.
Wasn't this whole expanse once lush and green?
Where'd a fish? There's the fish.
Fishing time?
Fishing time. Alright, so we're getting Hermes next. What would I want from Hermes? Honestly, anything that increases our survivability or our damage. So the usual greater haste rush delivery combo. Or honestly, taking increased dodge chance or increased special speed also sounds pretty good for us. Especially if we do luck ourselves into that special hammer I'm looking for. It's going to be very disappointing if I build around the assumption that I have a good special hammer at the end of the run and never manage to pull it off. There's a reasonable chance that does happen. I guess Athena's attack really wouldn't be bad here though, because it would let me reliably reflect attacks with a charged attack. I really just want to make the special attack work. The game just might not permit this. Ah, just barely missed him. I think the boon we need most from Demeter right now is the one that gives her...
I'm afraid there's no one faster than myself here, cuz. The good news is you are about to close the gap a little bit.
Alright, what are you giving us? Hyper Sprint, Second Wind, or Quick Recovery? Damage reduction or just 30% dodge chance on the caveat that I have to use my cast? Or if we're healing 50% of damage taken is pretty nice. I think I'm going to take Hyper Sprint. I think that one is the most reliable from the way I'm going to play.
Time to pick up the pace.
Alright, there's Artemis, and there's Coin and HP. We'll take Artemis here. I definitely need to stack some more HP, though.
Easy does
If we see a Thanatos room, that would be great, because he's always going to guaranteed give us some HP. Assuming we can kill things faster than he can, which I'm relatively confident I can do.
More wave makers?
I'm gonna question, where are they? Could you imagine if we traded for the Athena special? That would be pretty awesome. Yeah, I think right now the best thing that I could stand to gain in this build is a duo with Artemis for Crystal Beam. That's what I'm gonna play around, hopefully getting at some point or another. And then just keep stacking up as much damage as I can on the Pierced Butterfly. The only reason I traded out is if I really think I'm going to die in Hades, which
Lady
right now I
Artemis.
feel pretty good about.
I know you have no shortage of ambrosia on Olympus, Lady Artemis, but I imagine it's less often that the stuff go all the way from there to here and back. What can I say? You make me proud to be a member of this family.
I never felt like I could be myself with everybody on this mountaintop, you know? So much posturing and bickering, and I just head out to the woods most of the time. Maybe you understand me better than the rest. I've no idea still. But I appreciate you've made attempts to try. Hey, that's the Eternal Spear Varatha, isn't it? Your father used to use that, didn't he? A bit ornate for hunting, but a spear's a spear, is what I like to say.
That's exciting. We got the Bond Forge with Artemis. Alright, oh, perfect, pressure points. Yeah, the 2% crit chance is really not that much, but it's crit chance nonetheless. Or, you know what, maybe I wait on pressure points for a chance to get a higher tier one. We take her attack, not that I intend to use it, but it puts us in potential, it puts us in line for potentially getting her duo with Demeter, right? Crystal Clarity, any of those, yeah. So yeah, we'll take Deadly Strike here. We'll save up for potentially another pressure points if we're not offered anything else. Support fire is decent, or actually, is it really that decent? Not really. No matter. All right, we'll take another Demeter here. Arguably, the shop might be better because I could potentially buy a Centaur Heart, which would grant us a little bit more survivability. Oh, good, it's one of you guys. Come on. Cool. At least we killed him before he did anything else extra. These guys are just annoying to deal with, not because they're difficult to kill, but because they're slow to kill. This I can kite them into the Crystal Beam at least. Just popping skulls, no big deal. There we go. Okay.
In the name of Hades.
Okay, there we go. Our special is now officially upgraded to Heroic Tier, which is awesome. Whenever you cast damage foes around you and inflict chill, I guess we'll take that. It's not really that great, but I think I'm gonna save my dash for the potential Athena boon we may or may not get. Oh, there's a Chaos Room. Yeah, I'll take that over Ares. I have no interest in Ares on this run.
All right.
Now, these Chaos Gates are a little scary because they do consume about half of our HP.
In the name of Hades.
Let's see. Once again, not really offered anything that terribly excites me, although Caustic Grasp could work since we're considering going down a cast build, or at least partial cast build. So I guess rather than reroll and potentially get nothing, I'll take Caustic Grip. For the next 3 encounters, enemies that are slain toss Inferno Bombs. At the end, gain 1 extra charge of your cast. And would you look who shows up? Ooh, this is a tough decision. Mini boss for Artemis or mini boss for Athena? Because if I take Artemis, there's a decent chance I get her duo. If I take Athena, I can get her dash, which just gives me some extra survivability. I think, honestly, killing things faster is the way to go right now. It would have saved me the need to force a boon with... Now, okay, the question is, does this guy have his shockwave? He does, so I need to be mindful of that. I'm going to try and take out this Gorgon head as quick as possible. Oh, whoop. Ooh, I just barely dodged that. Maybe I try and take out the skull first, because he's a bit of a... Or what actually is the head called as in terms of, like, enemy name? Oh, wow. How did I not get hit by any of that, genuinely? I'm going to go ahead and use this just for the extra damage. If I manage to get through this entire room without taking any damage, I will be genuinely surprised and very pleased with myself, because it's... Whoop! Well, there we go. Okay. Not a surprise. But what a lame way to take the damage. I'd say this was a pretty clean fight, all things considered. I did get clipped, but at least I only took one hit.
And my uncle by now, right, Zagreus? I don't know which of them is worse. I mean, superior. Superior, despite technically spending most of his time in the seas beneath Olympus. Isn't that right, Uncle?
All right, so we are not getting the duo we wanted, but we are getting a duo, I guess.
Oh, Artemis, you needn't boast a little Hades there on my account. Besides, whether you're in the sea, above it, or beneath, makes little difference to your measure as a god. You two are young as yet. Keep at it, and you'll soon be practically as great as I.
The good thing he can't realize that she is just trying to feed his ego. Mirage Shot. Ooh. So, does Mirage Shot affect Crystal Beam? I didn't think about that. Okay. I'm not going to complain about that duo. That's a pretty good duo if it works. Let's find out.
Teamwork.
Oh, I think it does. Fancy. We have not run into Eurydice in a long while, so I'll be happy to see her here. Oh, and we even get her with... They're both here. We get both of them. Hi, guys. As much as I'd love to listen to you, I think this is going to be a slow run to begin with, so I shouldn't pad it out.
I've never heard anything like this. As good as you two sound each on your own, you're positively wonderful together.
I agree.
A splendid compliment, my friend. Doubtless the fates themselves conspired to ensure Eurydice and I would meet and sing together, fall in love, and then be cruelly separated for some time.
Only to be reunited again by some meddling prince.
Now, don't you start with that again, you get me, Orphe? Got our whole entire afterlives ahead of us, and lots of songs to catch up on.
You're correct, of course, my dear. If you'll excuse us, Zagreus, our calling beckons.
It's a sweet little bit of dialogue. I think, it feels like I have a lot of boons, but I don't think I have a lot that are affected by pomegranates. So I could take the Palm Porridge here and hope that a couple land on the special for even more damage. Like, look at that. We're at a base 191% increased damage there. That's phenomenal. Alternatively, I go for the higher rarity boons with Refreshing Nectar. The next 3 boons have an upgraded rarity. But aside from duo boons, I don't have much more that I want other than Athena's dash. I think I'm going to take this and see what it gets us. Even 1 level on the special is a lot more damage, potentially. Of course, it did not hit it at all. Unlucky. But hey, we did get a level of Crystal Beam, which is going to be the other half of our DPS. So I'm not going to complain too much there. It's not great. Could have been better. Definitely could have been better. Is there anything I want from Poseidon here? Not really. I'm going to roll for another palm, see what happens.
Boosted a boon.
Nope. Oh, another level of Crystal Beam. Okay, you know what? Let's take Poseidon, see what he gives us.
Just what I need.
Hydraulic Might. None of these are great. Ocean's Bounty, not really that great. Definitely don't want Tidal Dash here, I think. Like I said, I'm gonna hold out for Athena here. I guess Hydraulic Might would be decent since we don't have Jury Summon slowing things down. I don't want to take anything else, so I guess we'll take Hydraulic Might.
Let's make some waves, right?
I'm gonna save my rerolls for potentially getting duos with Demeter.
Why, hello, Lenny. What have you been up to since I last destroyed your multitude of heads?
All right, drop every single cast we have and just slow down learning as much as possible. Like, this is why we need... Oh, gosh, I got hit already. This is why we do, in fact, need... what is it? Crystal Clarity, I think it was called? because it is very hard for these two. The tracking on these is not great. Let's be honest. Nope, let's not stand in the lava, Jeff. Thankfully, I didn't get clipped for that. Oh, I might die here, actually. I think I'm like one hit away from losing a Death Defiance here, which is a little sketchy. We have not been blessed with much in the way of HP, unfortunately. Yeah. Darn it, Lerny was blocking one of his heads, so I couldn't hit him there. I'm just focusing on dodging. If I can get away without losing any Death Defiances here, that would be ideal. Not likely to happen, but if I play super safe, especially if I charge up my God Gauge for when he spawns all his heads in, I think I can probably make it happen. Just watch the ground. I have to pay extra attention here because anything that drops on the ground is very easy to miss. I'm gonna just drop what crystal beams I can. Doing this because that was super sketchy for me. Get out of the lava. I'm still in the lava. Okay, good. Good so far. This is super sketchy, Kiwi. Popping that to kill possibly 2 heads. Cool, okay. Oh, I didn't see it. It had 1 HP. That's so unlucky. That's so unlucky we lost the Death Defiance there. We're still okay, though. This is a pretty sketchy run, all things considered, though. I'm really playing risky. But, I mean, that's the nature of Guan Yu when you're not going a build that could potentially heal you, I suppose. I definitely think in the long run, going more on a cast-focused build will be the best choice for safety. But nothing's going to happen with this if we don't get that Artemis duo, so I really need to see Artemis in the next floor.
And clear.
Also, any potential HP I can take is really important, to the point it might honestly be worth considering taking the spiked collar. Oh my god, I'm stupid. I gave up the pierced butterfly for the adamant arrowhead. Oh, I'm so dumb, I forgot. Oh, gosh. Well, I guess that means I could just force Demeter to show up then, because I haven't used her keepsake this run. Ah, that's really dumb. I'm so dumb, Kiwi. Oh well. I think I'm going to take the Owl Pendant for 2 reasons. One, it guarantees us we will see Athena. And 2, not only does Athena have the chance of giving us her dash, it gives us the chance of getting her Death Defiance refunding abilities in case we don't find Patroclus on this run. So I think it's going to give us an extra bit of survivability, or it gives us 2 layers of potential extra survivability. Ultimately, though, I think this is very much going to be coming down to a build of we need to see more Demeter, we need to see more Artemis, and we need to get their duo, and then we need to get the ability that applies the chilled effect on Crystal Beam. If we get those effects,
farther than I can see from here.
Honestly, even if we don't get the tier 2 on, okay, this is a tough decision. Hammer versus Athena. We're guaranteed to see Athena later. I think finding a hammer early now could really benefit us, so I'm going to go the hammer route. We'll see what it brings us. A little sketchy just tossing a spear into all of those exploding chariots. I think we're okay, though. Whoop. I guess we still have that chaos boon that's causing things to throw inferno bombs at us, not that I didn't already kind of realize that a little while ago. But I'm definitely feeling it a little bit more present right now, with these chariots all popping in one hit and then launching explosives at me. Alright.
A curse of chaos has expired.
There it is, Kiwi. Charge Skewer holds special for up to 200% base damage. The minimum range is reduced, but that is huge.
Sharpened.
That is potentially so much damage. And, ooh, tough decision here. Hermes or HP? We'll take the coin here and hopefully be able to afford a...
That does not belong to me.
Either a Death Defiance refund from a shop, or... Well, I'll take whatever I can get, frankly. Oh, wow, you clipped me there. Just trying to get as much damage on these guys as possible. We'll toss the Poseidon pass right there, or the Poseidon call there for safety. Nope, no, no. Oh, it respawned. Darn it. Definitely a slower room because of that. These shielders are always a pain to deal with for me. I don't know. They just don't mesh well with my brain.
Disappointing for these so-called champions.
Disappointing for me, too. I did not get a lot out of that. We're going to take Hermes here. I am playing super risky by not taking more HP on a Guan Yu build. But we'll find a way to make it work, maybe. Right, I need to remember that I can charge up my special. Oh my goodness, are we doing 500? Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow, that is a lot of damage. We're doing, at max charge, 548 damage, which is insane for us. And that boosted even our base damage, I think. And so now we're basically playing a glorified bow build, let's be honest. The spear now plays like a bow. But that is a substantial damage increase. I didn't realize how powerful that was. Greater haste, greater evasion, or quick favor. Quick favor could save us, but it's 1% every 2 seconds. That's not a whole lot, given how long these boss fights tend to last. 10% dodge chance could save us, but honestly, I should just not be getting hit. Greater haste, the chance that we see a third Hermes boon that I'm willing to afford is low. So it's got to be one of these two. I'm going to take greater evasion. That chance to dodge may save us.
Sure, why not?
I'm not worried about this run being too slow anymore, though. Charge Skewer really does carry the run.
That's a bite. I caught a cow.
So I still maintain that we want to see the duo boon if possible. Well, that helps.
Should be useful.
All right. Well, we have our Death Defiance back. Still not a guaranteed win, but that does significantly increase our... Oh, there was a Metropolis room. That was dumb. That's unfortunate. Oops. Oh well, I could have gotten a free Death Defiance or pay 200 coin. I chose to pay 200 coin because I'm an idiot. Oh well. We're still going to go to the Metropolis room and see if there's any new story beats for him.
It makes no difference to me either way. I spent so much of my short life alone, but now, what is this lingering and meaningless experience where for eternity, all I've to think on is a few bright glimpses that I spent with him, not by myself?
Don't worry, Patty. We'll get you back with your friends soon enough.
What is it this time, stranger? You're quite effective at locating me, but not so good at leaving me in peace.
Just on one of my little jaunts through paradise is all, sir. Happened to be on the way toward my destination.
You think this place a paradise? At least down in the depths, there are so many other souls with whom to share one's misery. No offense. I know that you're just passing through.
Alright, so there's no benefit to taking Kiss of Sticks. We don't really have a lot of HP to gain, but maybe we use that. Alternatively, Cyclops Jerky. I don't think there's any reason to take that. I'm not using my attack at all. This is a cast and special build, and that's it. So I guess we take Hydrolite Gold just for the HP it can offer us. Ooh, Demeter and Artemis. So we won't get any duos from them here, but we will get some potentially useful boons, especially if I can get Demeter's tier 2 boon. I'm pretty happy with this. I think, honestly, I'll have an easier time dodging Demeter. This is a pretty big room. All right, pressure points or support fire. I think in terms of overall DPS, pressure points has a chance to be way better for us, especially if you consider the fact if we crit with a fully charged skewer.
For that decision, Zagreus, it is about to be a very cold day down there in your underworld.
That's okay, we just got out of Asphodel. We could use the AC on.
Demeter.
Yeah, so this is pretty much a run all about not getting hit as much as possible. Like, I'm still going to take hits here or there, but I need to avoid as much damage as possible, and if I can maintain that position... Oh, I thought I had my God Gauge. Oops.
He's fully recovered.
This is fine. I have a bunch of casts, my good sir. I do find this funny to know that now know that Mirage Shot works on Crystal Beam, because I would not have expected that. That could lead to a really crazy build if you get all the right boons. I might try that one day when I'm feeling in the mood for like a gimmick build of some nature. All right, we're gonna take out these archers first, or not. I got caught. Oh, let's not get hit by the trap there. They're all kind of outside of my range. This is not ideal. Ah, I took a lot of damage in this trial. I still think it's worth it for what we potentially gained. Pressure points is big. didn't one-shot it. Okay, good. We're good. A little bit of stress in that room.
It ultimately isn't my intent to leave you in the cold like this, young Zagreus.
I guess in hindsight, we do have the HP restoring ability, so we should be fine. Ugh. Nothing I want here. I don't want her dash. I don't want increased healing, because that's not going to benefit us too much. Frozen touches, whatever. I guess it would potentially increase survivability if things get chilled. I'm going to re-roll here and hope for her tier 2 on Crystal Beam.
None of these.
We didn't get it, but I don't know if I want Arctic Blast. Honestly, I'd rather keep things slowed as much as possible. I guess I'll just take the HP here. It's an epic level Nourished Soul. Not ideal, but it's whatever. Alright. I'm not a fan of having to fight Asterius here for this boon. If it's the... Oh, thank goodness it's the Soul Catcher. That's so much easier to deal with.
Falls and be swatted deadly butterflies.
Yeah, I can handle this guy easy. We'll just kill your friends, and then pop a couple more of these. Not a fan of them teleporting around like that, but we can manage. I think that one's going to regenerate. I can't stop it. This is fine, though.
There's no end to these guys.
I think we burst down the butterfly ball at this point. I'm not stopping these guys from regenerating very well. It's too mobile. It's dodging my crystal beams. Alright, it's dead. We're good. I'm going to take out the shielder first because he's the bigger threat to me. Good. Okay, pop a bunch of crystal beams here. Oh, I got clipped. We're good, though. That didn't actually do that much damage. Oh, I dashed past the wall before that went off, darn it. Right. I definitely am having to focus a little bit more just to avoid a catastrophic failure. I'm a little worried about how the heroes fight may go. We have the damage, but I don't know if we have the survivability. It's really a matter of how well can I dodge the attacks. I have to play pretty carefully. Thankfully, I only have one level of tight deadline, so I'm pretty safe in that regard.
You arrived sooner than anticipated, cousin, and my estimations seldom are inaccurate. All for the best, of course. Perhaps you're simply faster than I thought.
You can thank Hermes for that, probably. All right, dash. Yeah, we'll take the dash here. It's an epic tier dash. Doesn't really matter that much. A second Athena in a row, though, could be good. Or I could risk getting hit for the sake of another Demeter boon. Oh, this is tempting, because, I mean, what do I stand to gain from Athena at this point if I were to go the route of her room here? That's Aphrodite. Too many gods in this game start with A, and my brain doesn't seem to want to comprehend that. Let's see. So duos with Artemis. Not really interested in that. Duos with Demeter, not really that great either. And duo with Poseidon, no. None of these are really great for me. I honestly think... I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna go for the... Never mind, I don't have enough heat. We're going for the Artemis room after all. Never mind. Alright. I'm not terribly interested in her duos. I think it's really the summary of this, but there are plenty of other boons she could potentially offer us that are certainly well worth considering, even if that is the case. While I may not need another Death Defiance at this point, it certainly still stands to benefit me if I get any of the effects that increase the heal of those Death Defiances or the duration of the damage blocking effect. So I think it's well within reason to consider that a priority at this stage, even though I didn't prioritize it. Stubborn Roots. I guess I could, if I really wanted to play cheesy, I could kite out Hades while using Crystal Beam. We have the time on the clock. I guess I'll take Stubborn Roots. If you have no Death Defiance, you regenerate 1 HP every 0.8 seconds.
Strength of the goddess.
Wonder what the decision for making it 0.8 instead of per second was. Alright, coin or palm. The odds of us getting this on the special or Crystal Beam are, I guess, fair, but not inspiring.
Did you miss me, Zagreus?
Good dong.
I heard you got yourself into another mess that needed cleaning up.
You're not wrong on that one, and this one was kind of my own fault for a change. I guess technically, canonically, they're always my fault, but this one in particular feels like a situation that could have been somewhat avoidable, rather than making it unnecessarily difficult by running Guan Yu. But, like, I mean, do you see our base damage on the special? If there were ever a time to run Guan Yu, it would be at a lower heat when I'm still not at risk of suffering from high heat runs, the difficulty of them, rather, and just running a charged skewer build. Omae wa mo shinderu is what he just said, but in not weeb speak. Ah, shit, I got clapped. I got clipped, rather. Clapped isn't... I think clapped is still an appropriate term there, but it's not the one I meant to say. I can probably just let Than clean up at this point, but I'm not gonna. We got the damage. We can do this ourselves. Cool. Ooh, we did get it on the palm, and another 12% damage on the palm. Excellent. Plus another 11 HP. Cool. Oh.
Hey, I didn't mean to lay the guilt on you for what you did for Orpheus, Sag. I just worry when we get involved, we can make matters worse.
I think that's a fair concern.
You haven't ever made anything worse then. But as for me, I realized what you meant. I was so eager to do something for Orpheus when I first met Eurydice, I never asked them if it was okay.
At least things turned out well for them, but that was fortunate. Family troubles, personal relations, and the like. It's sensitive business. Though, who am I to talk? You didn't ask me to show up like this.
I think he would have if he had the option, though.
I'm glad you did that, Fen.
Coin or HP? I think I need to stack up some HP. We're definitely hurting in the survivability department, and I think it's a reasonably confident idea to say that I'm not going to be saving up for Titan Blood when I can get something that could potentially seal the deal on this run. Like, hopefully, and I know how this is going to go because it always goes this way, once we get to Styx, we're not going to even see a single Artemis or Demeter boon. Just you watch, because that's always how it goes, you know? I can't ever get lucky, but I shouldn't complain. I got Charge Skewer, which is objectively all I needed. I think we just dodged a hit, so there's an instance of that one Hermes boon that I took really potentially paying itself off. Like, even if it's only a 10% dodge chance, that 10% does sometimes save lives, so I'm not going to complain about having it.
That's a relief.
HP or shop? Let's take the shop because, again, I think the thing we need most to round out this build is the Demeter Athena duo. We were not offered it. We're not offered any max HP, so I guess we just move along to the next room. I could have bought that Athena, but I don't think I need it.
Care for a rematch?
I shall never yield the title champion of Elysium to the likes of you.
Because the reason why is because I want to save my coin for the next floor on the off chance that we're offered.
I warn you, Phil. You'll gain no quarter.
I should probably just charge these beams against Theseus, honestly. Oh, perfect. They just all stacked up. Oh, that reminds me. Nice little solid hit there. Oh, hi, Asterius. Asterius. My good sir. My good bullman. Whatever. Are you a sir? Would you prefer being called a sir? That's a question I don't know how to answer. Oh dear. I will say, for what it's worth, I forgot that I had an extra charge on my cast. Oops. I'm gonna just channel this on. Oh, jeez. I'm just trying to keep them focused on me so that they don't block Crystal Beam here.
Olympians, aid us against this fiend.
Tossing in a cast or a call there for some extra damage. Oh dear. I can't believe I dodged that. We're doing reasonably good damage. I just need to keep the Crystal Beam going. Oh, well, I'm getting clipped by that for sure. I used my call to block that hit. Felt kind of fancy. Oh, drop a bunch of crystals here. Cool. Not the worst heroes, and we didn't lose a Death Defiance. We definitely took more than half our HP. Worse the damage, but I'd say that was a pretty good heroes run. So, I guess...
Don't make me come up there, boy.
The question I have to posit now is I have the option of taking the Demeter Keepsake here on the... to guarantee I get one more chance at her duo boon with Artemis. The question is if it's worth it or not. I think I'd rather just take the lucky tooth and play it safe. I don't think I'm going to need it. I really don't think I'm going to need it. But I never know. You never know for certain, and that's the scary part. The thing is, like, if I get the duo with Artemis, I have just as much survival chance as yeah, I'm doing it. I'm taking it. I'm risking it. I trust that I can play well enough here to not need the extra life.
Do I still need these?
But I am perfectly capable of throwing a run at any point. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We've got a solid 7 minutes left for sticks, which actually is kind of really bad. Given our DPS, that's actually... Okay, good. Good. That's what I... For a moment, I was like, am I really that close to running out of time? But then that wouldn't have made sense, because I would have been out of time on the previous floor if that were the case. So we're fine. We've got 60 minutes for sticks and taking out Hades. We got 2 Athena boons there, so if I do lose a Death Defiance, I have a chance of buying it back. Okay, perfect. We've got an Artemis and a Demeter room. So I think we go for Artemis first to hopefully get her duo. And that way there's a chance that we can still get the tier 2 on Crystal Beam from Demeter if we get the duo with Artemis. Because if I have a choice between the two, I will very much take the Crystal Beam, the duo boon over the Crystal Beam inflicts chill effect. As good as that would be, it's nowhere near as good as the duo, because the duo just makes it so the Crystal Beams are able to hit and do their job. But we've got 2 chances at this duo, so if we still don't get it, well, it was never meant to be, I guess. I have to be careful. In this instance, when my HP is as low as it is, that poison damage adds up very quickly. We have a lot of laser beams, though. This is 8 lasers at once. I don't know if it's our record, but it's definitely up there. But now that I do know that Mirage Shot works, I'm definitely going to have to go a kind of super gimmicky Crystal Beam build at some point. That sounds like a lot of fun. Probably take the Poseidon Sword, I guess. Yeah, I would take the Sword of Poseidon because it gives increased cast damage. And then we just go all in on casts. That would probably be the instance where we take the, what is it, Infernal Soul instead of Stygian Soul? Or I get the 2 mixed up, so I'm not sure which one is which. But the mirror benefit that makes it so you have, rather than a increased number of bloodstones, you regenerate them. You just regenerate them after a set period of time. That way I can cast them as quick as possible. We'd also need to depend on some fancy Hermes boons at times. Because there's a Hermes boon that makes you regenerate your cast faster. I guess you could also, in theory, run the Hera bow with that too, but I don't know if that works any better. Okay. Huh. We were not offered the duo. Clean Kill does nothing for us. I guess we take Hunter's Mark because that can give us some sizable damage up if something gets marked. We're pretty much guaranteed to crit at that point. And I'm definitely not trading away Crystal Beam, so Hunter's Mark it is. Really wish we had some rerolls. This could be fun though. Prometheus Stone gain +1, which is actually +2 Bloodstones for your cast. Yeah, we'll take that. That's funny.
I'll take it.
And then Fish, sure, we'll take that too. So there's a non 100% chance of us not, or there's still a chance of us finding the duo from Demeter, but my expectations are rather low at this point. That is a Scuffer.
Let's see.
The HP there looks kind of tasty too, because it'll at least bump us up to close to 100 HP. But all right, let's go ahead and just pop our cast as much as possible. For enemies like this that just love to stay stationary, this is great. For enemies that like to teleport around or run, Crystal Beam just really falls off very hard, very quickly. But I guess that's the one benefit of having enemies be chilled by the special, is that I can very reliably slow them down and keep them kind of in the range of Crystal Beam. Especially if I manage to kind of cast it up from a distance. I think I just, yeah, oh my goodness, we crit for 1400 damage. Jeez, that's insane. See, that's the instance where Pressure Point really pays off. Like, it's only a 2% chance. But when that chance happens, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it and revel in the moment. All right, Demeter, please, please. Thank you, Demeter. Okay, your cast is stronger, tracks foes more efficiently, and does 10% more damage. Oh, we didn't get to see it until the final We didn't get to see it till the final room, but that should guarantee us our run. So I don't think we're gonna go buying anything fancy here. Let's take the Hermes boon.
Don't spend it all in one place.
I guess I'm used to these one-sided chats here, boss, thanks to my work experience with my professional associate down there. You tell him I said hi, all right?
Charon. Hermes says hi. All right, let's see. Flurry cast. Special is faster. Ooh. Okay, so Flurry cast. I think we take Flurry cast, honestly, because that's just funner for this build. Charging up our special 20% faster is kind of nice, but Flurry cast is just kind of funny for our gimmick build at this point. All right, Kiwi, let's go ahead and just throw crystal beams.
Persuades the underworld's ferocious guardian to move aside.
I owe you one, boy.
Cerberus ran away. Where could he be? I love the little flavor text that this game has throughout. It just adds so much more personality to a game already rich with character and personality. I don't see any fishes.
Business to take care of, then.
I must admit, this is a welcome change of pace from all the parchment work.
Getting lasered down by your son? Sure. All right, Dad. Are you ready? Say hi to 10 beams! 10 beams of laser! Oh gosh, that's not nearly as much damage as I would want it to be, but whatever. It's still funny. It's still pretty funny, let's be honest. I have 10 laser beams going all at once. Beams! More beams! I think there are a few instances where this could get less crazy. Like, it would be hard to get a build more stacked than this on Crystal Beam, but I think we could do it. Oh, I got grabbed. Oh, yeah. That's the sound of Jeff being stressed for a moment, I guess. Like, if you watch his HP, the Crystal Beam damage really isn't that impressive. So I guess there is still more room to make this crazier. But for a while it lasts, I'm going to have fun with it. Did you see that spear guy? He immediately dove behind a wall where the crystal beams couldn't reach him. That's ridiculous. It's like he knew. Drop my cast and then just use the call. Where'd you go? Oh, he went invisible. Lame. Wow, for 30... So Hades was marked there by Hunter's Mark, and he somehow managed to dodge every crit. Or not hit a crit even a single time with all of those Poseidon casts. Anyway, that was phase 1. See, this is what I meant. Like, if I get crystal clarity, I do not need anything in the form of extra death defiances if I get all levels of crystal clarity there. Like I will say, so it turns out the way that your cast regenerates or your call rather, is based on the number of hits rather than the amount of damage you deal. The damage you take does affect it though, but like it's the number of hits you deal, and you're constantly hitting your enemies when you're dealing with this sort of gimmicky crystal beam build. This is kind of funny though. Look at that damage stacking up. It did almost 1,800 damage fully stacked. This is just the laser of death. Okay, you know what? To finish him off, I'm just going to spread them out. Ooh, it's a strobe blade party. And done.
You.
All right.
I'm not as limber as I used to be, while you...
I'm a spry young chicken.
See you at home.
Okay, bye, Dad.
Goodbye, Father.
All right, what a weird build. All right, Winged Serpent did literally nothing this whole run. Get off of my, like, woohoo, you did it. Out of there. Get gone. So, and honestly, Aspect of Guan Yu didn't matter at all either, so let's get that out of here. Where is it? Is it over here somewhere? You know, I could just look for where it says Q. Am I dumb? Am I blind? I'm definitely blind, but am I also dumb? There it is. All right, I don't care about Guan Yu. So we got Crystal Beam, Crystal Clarity, Mirage Shot. Sure, Flurry Cast, why not? Flurry Cast, and sure, let's just have that there too. What a funny build. What a funny build indeed. Oh, and hey, we're officially at a new current best win streak. We're 19 in a row at this point. Awesome. All right.
Barutha shuddered just now.
No fish for Jeff.
In his great hurry to explore the countryside, the hapless-footed prince steps on the peel of a most exotic, sallow-colored fruit and tumbles backward with such sudden violent force that you know what occurs.
Jeff, if you have the wherewithal to do this, if you have the wherewithal to do this, edit in the goofy falling sound effect there just for some shits and giggles. Why not? Probably isn't going to happen, but if it does happen, pat Jeff on the back and post commentary, okay, everyone?
Thank you, thank you.
By everyone, I mean Kiwi and anyone else who's watching. Thanks, Hypnos.
I've got a survey here if you'd like to fill it out.
For you, Hypnos, anything.
No.
Excellent work.
Just
my
kidding.
son.
Hail,
No.
Prince. The house is secure, lad. Go.
Go, go, go.
Do give yourself a break from time to time.
Oh, don't worry, Persephone. I will take a break eventually.
The vicious three-faced guard-hound of the gates of death barks out a brief hello.
But I've still got a whole lot of Hades in my system at this point.
Whatever you did to my blasted seat is of no consequence to me. From my vantage point, I can't even see it. A foolish prank and waste of valuable resources, nothing more.
I think it was a very good use of resources. You look absolutely, like, I mean, you already looked really cool, but now you have a really cool Cerberus-themed chair to match your Cerberus-themed Cerberus next to you.
It's more for everybody else than you, Father. Think of it as a tribute to Cerberus. Besides, you really should think about changing up the look of this place from time to time. Keep things fresh.
The limitless work keeps things fresh enough as it is. Though if making aimless changes in this house is how you choose to spend your limitless time, I'll have no part of it.
Works for me.
Party pooper. All right, next, what have you got to say?
It pleases me that you and Megara have come to deeply understand each other, child. I must admit to you, it was my hope that you and she were capable of this result.
I'm glad that you were rooting for Meg and not Than. I'm sure your son appreciates that sentiment.
You're pleased we're together, Nyx. I thought you'd be concerned that such relationships distract from work responsibilities and such, although I'm grateful to have your approval.
I have no fear that Megara shall be distracted, child. Besides, such matters are more likely to inspire and to spur greater accomplishment, although the greater sense of contentment tends to be a sufficient end unto itself.
We are stronger together than apart. I certainly feel that way with Kiwi.
Thanks.
I would not be able to survive in this world without her at this point.
Featured servant once again.
Codependent, yes, but also
hi.
much better than alone.
Keep letting down my guard against you, Zach.
Well, see you. Hey, Dusa, this is kind of personal and you don't have to answer, but I have to know. So, did you used to have a body and all that? Because I've heard of Gorgons, well, that you had wings and such.
Prince, so, look, that's something very private that you're asking, and I know you don't mean any harm, but it just isn't something I discuss with anyone, okay? I'm who I am. Besides, as you can see, I don't need wings to fly.
Be proud of your body and what you are, Dusa.
Well, that was inconsiderate of me.
That was.
Some water-dwelling beast for you, good chef.
All right, and we get some keys, some nectar, and some gems. Excellent. Okay.
Well, thank you.
Moving along, let's go round out the episode. Nothing to be gained here. We have to save up a whole nother 2,000 darkness. So it's going to be a while before we can unlock anything there. Oh, really? Another gauntlet run? We've had a lot of those recently. What if I don't want to run the gauntlets? Can I pick something else? We have not had a bow run in a while. What about an aspect of Chiron run?
Coronoct, awakened.
Hey,
Yeah.
what just happened?
All right, let's take the aspect of Chiron. Maybe I go another Pierce Butterfly run. Nah. I wasn't so good at using that last time. On Blossom, maybe? I don't know. What am I really in the mood for? Honestly, the rail has been treating me very well. But we just leveled up Chiron. Let's use Chiron. All right, aspect of Chiron. I guess let's take Artemis and go crit on the special, maybe? Just for funsies? Sure, why not? Crit on the special. That's what we'll do. All right, Kiwi, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall
Let's
asleep.
see what you can do in terms of hitting me, pal.
If you're asleep, I hope you're sleeping well. I love you, and I will see you in the next one.